Hello, 你好, Peter Choi speaking. Welcome to High Tech High Yeah. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence and virtual reality and the possible collaboration between the two. AR and VR are the two most important and popular technology in the recent years. So we start from a demonstration of Epic Games and the recent reveal of their Unreal Engine 5. So take a look. A lot of participants of esports and gamers probably have seen this demonstration before. What is fascinating is this demonstration reveals an environment and maybe stones and trees and all these objects that are super realistic, that is unseen before. So as we are playing games, mostly we will know that the modeling is getting better and better, but obviously this is a giant leap forward. So why is it so realistic? Is this Unreal Engine 5 actually employed some of the AI technologies into it? The model in a 3D game mostly complies of a lot of little polygons. Polygons is like a little triangles, but the polygons are so small that when they are together, you can hardly see they are existing individually. Instead, they are joining together to form a very smooth surface. And as the computing power is getting better and better and more powerful, process more and more of these polygons. So that is the main reason why we see the games and the graphics of the games are improving so drastically these years. But talking about this processing power, we still have a bottleneck. There's still a limitation to it. So we may recall a lot of movies and even the TV shows nowadays that have heavily employed some of the 3D technologies and rendering technologies like Jurassic Park and Transformers and even Game of Thrones. All this you can see it is so realistic because they're pre-rendered. As all the polygons and calculations are being done before the show, you can expect it can be as realistic as you can imagine. But being in the 3D game is a little bit different. As you play along, all the environments and all the characters will change according to your actions. So all the calculation has to be done real time by the game console. So the bottleneck is the processing power of that very game console that you're playing with. So we have to strike a balance between the gaming speed and also the graphic quality. So that is where AI comes in. So with the AI prediction technology, we can make the model more complex by predicting the little details in between the polygons. So when the gaming console is going through the game, it is still processing the very same models that it has been doing before, but the extra complexity of the models relies on the AI predictions to fill that in. So in that case, the AI prediction can give a lot more complexity to each model and also the environment. It can also predict lighting effects on each individual objects and make corresponding changes in real time. But at the age without AI, we can see the model that is halfly realistic or getting better and better, but still we can't see it as realistic as we expect. Why is it so? Because our eyes will see the models are being super realistic, but our brains is still telling ourselves that it is not as realistic as before. We're trying to convince ourselves that this is fake. So in that case, the conflict of the eye and the brain will give us a very negative experience on that game itself. And that phenomena, we call it Uncanny Valley. So how to get across that Uncanny Valley is a very huge problem for all the game developers throughout the ages. So with this AI prediction technology, we can finally expect that this Uncanny Valley can be overcome. So that brings us to virtual reality, VR. So there are two types of VR. One is the panoramic static picture that we're taking. It's just like Google Street View. But that kind of so-called VR, when we are seeing through a goggle, is not VR at all, okay? Because all the environments are still real, okay? We're taking a picture of a real environment, so we can't call it virtual in that case. So what is really virtual is that when we compose that environment entirely on a 3D modeling engine, or if we are modeling partially or one of the objects in and try to fit into a real environment. If it is the earlier case, it is VR. If it is the later case, we call it Augmented Reality, that is AR. So with the AI predictions, we can make a more realistic model and put into a real environment with a much better fit. That reminds me of the years before I have done a startup project called Re-Residence that is doing VR apartment viewing for the real estate agencies. So what we do is to make a 3D model for some apartments that is not yet built. And we are trying to give an experience to the potential buyers who can walk into the apartment before it is ready. So if we are employing the AI predictions and the 3D models of the house, we can expect the potential buyers will be more convinced and is more likely to buy it. So lastly, when we're talking about the hardware infrastructure that makes all these AI prediction possible, we have the name 3 chips company. NVIDIA, who is doing a lot of graphic chips and AI chips lately. They're doing a lot of innovation breakthroughs for the AI development on the chips level. ARM, who is doing chips on mobile device, has provided a lot of breakthroughs to make the chips smaller and smaller. And also we cannot forget TSMC, who is a Taiwan semiconductor factory who is doing a lot of OEM manufacturing. And because TSMC has the production capacity and the manufacturing cost is relatively low, together with the NVIDIA and ARM, they are doing a lot of collaborations in making the AI chips and manufacturing and mass production faster and better over the years. And in time, we can expect to see AI development to have a lot more crossover with other industry and other areas over the years. And guess what? Maybe a Terminator robot is right outside your door. So that's all for today. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment and ask me anything. And in time, I will bring you more interesting stories and case study of tech development. But until then, good luck and stay safe. I'm Peter Choi. Thanks for watching.